Hello, um, my name is Lindsay, and I'm actually really nervous about this. I've been wanting to start my own platform, specifically for narcissistic abuse or toxic people, relationships that I know that I'm in right now, trying to get out. I'm going to try to get all of my story into this one video first. I plan on continuing to make videos if, of course, everybody likes it and maybe can relate to it. And but the point is, the whole objective to my video is to spread awareness on you know toxic relationships, narcissists, narcissistic abuse, mental illness, all of that. Where do I start? Well, I been in this relationship for about 3 years. I got pregnant really quickly. I have a son with him. That should have been a red flag. Also, the love bombing, the everything in the beginning was so intense. Just, it was all about me, all about me. It's like he worshipped me. Not anymore, though. Not anymore. That stopped pretty much when I got pregnant. I feel like the love bombing stage only really lasted about maybe 4 months. At first, we were living at, I was living at my sister's house. I have another daughter with a previous marriage. She's going to be 15 this year, and she hates him. That should tell you a lot. I guess I just want to get out there that I want to put it out there that you're not crazy. You don't need help. You're not imagining things. It's them. It really is them. It's the gaslighting, the manipulation, the control, the triangulation. I mean, you name it. If you've done enough research, I've done enough research. I didn't really see the red flags in the beginning, or maybe I just ignored them. I don't know, to be quite honest with you. It just seemed like he was really into me, you know. So I guess that's part of the love bombing phase. But as soon as we moved in together, as I said, I got pregnant really quickly, within a couple months. So we moved in together a few months later, and as other professionals say, from other research I've done, the mask came off. And I stopped being a priority. He stopped giving a shit about anything. He is a 42-year-old man. Do you know honestly, how I spent my whole pregnancy? Watching him play Xbox. How about that? Watching him play Xbox, being completely ignored. Okay? My needs and my wants no longer mattered. I was very depressed. I was actually worried about maybe having postpartum depression, to be quite honest with you, because that's how depressed I was. I was terrified. I'm like, oh my God, please don't let me have postpartum depression. But I got lucky and I didn't. He has 2 other children that he has nothing to do with. And of course, in the beginning, another red flag. Pay attention. When they say that their exes are crazy, they're not crazy. They're not. And if they are, it's because they drove them crazy. Because I can tell you from my experience, he drove me a little bit crazy. Mentally, emotionally, I was not in a good place. Not a good place at all. I kind of always felt like I noticed the change when we moved in together. But I couldn't quite figure out what it was. Until a friend of mine said, you know what? He sounds like he's like a narcissist. And I'm like, really? I never even thought about that. I've heard of narcissism, but I didn't know too much about it. So here I go. I'm on YouTube. I'm Googling narcissism. Come across Lee Hammock. Shout out to you, because you know what? You're awesome. You are the one that put me on to a lot of, you educated me in so many ways. And without a doubt, after watching just his videos, there's no denying it. And then I started watching Dr. Romney's videos. Les Carter, another one. And just, like a few more here and there, but and I read the book. Well, I actually listened to Dr. Romney's book, Should I Stay or Should I Go, on Amazon Audible, which was pretty awesome. Which obviously, yeah, you should go. But I think it was over 20 narcissistic traits, and he had at least 19 of them. And of course, here I am, I'm finding all this out. It was literally a complete shock to my system, to the core of my soul. I couldn't believe that this is what I was dealing with. I have never, ever, ever been in a relationship like this before. And once I got over the initial shock, I was in a dark place for a while. Then I was in the acceptance phase where, you know what? Okay, this is what it is. The most disturbing part, the most, I guess, shittiest part of it is that they're never gonna change, especially if they can't even admit that they have a problem. And they can't even admit that they can't even take accountability for anything. They can't take responsibility for their actions or behaviors. In my experience, again, so this is just my experience. I can't speak for everybody else. But my story is, it got to the point where I started questioning my own sanity. Like I said, when I was in a dark place, I was questioning my own sanity. That's crazy. And then after all the research I did about 6 months. 6 months hardcore research, educated myself, and I'm like, you know what? It's not me. I'm not the problem. I don't need help. I'm not crazy. I don't have mental issues. That's just the gaslighting and the manipulation and the brainwashing that these people try to do to you. And a lot of them succeed for many, many years. Unfortunately for me, I'm not dealing with the bullshit. I'm not at all. I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for the physical, mental, emotional abuse at all. I signed up for a partner, a lover, a friend, you know, a best friend. And turns out I got the complete opposite. Because this man only cares about himself, and that's it. That's it. Um, that's that's really what it boils down to too. Like, you can try your hardest to talk and talk and talk to them and tell them how you feel and blah blah blah, but they always have an excuse for everything. Everything's my fault. um, or you know, there's just always an excuse. And they lie. He lies so much that I really believe he doesn't even know how to tell the truth anymore, which is very sad. Very, very sad, because I would much, much, much rather be, told the truth than lied to constantly 24/7. I mean, and he would lie about the stupidest things. These stupidest things. And I don't care what anybody says. Those little white lies, they matter. Okay? Because that's how it starts. With the white lies, and that's the bigger lies. Okay? But it got to the point where, like, for a man to withhold love, affection, sex, all of that, like, I'm like, what? This is so weird. Like, I've never in my life. And the rejection, maybe a story for another day, but I have never in my 37 years, well, let's say, we'll say 15, 20 years, I've never, ever, ever been rejected. Never. Okay? And again, there's always an excuse. Oh, it's this, it's that. Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I got a toothache. Or, oh, it's because you treat me like shit. Oh, it got to the point where, yeah, you know what? After enduring so much mental, emotional, physical abuse, you tend to return, not return, but, well, you tend to mirror them. And it's called reactive abuse. So you actually tend to become an abuser as well, because that's just what you're used to. That's just how it happens. They drive you to the point where you become what, you become the abuser too. Reactive abuse, I've learned that from, again, Dr. Les, Dr. Romney, Lee Hammock. Lee Hammock, and he's a self-aware narcissist, and I respect him so much. I really do. I can't imagine, like, how hard it must have been to actually sit back and check yourself and say, you know what, damn, it is me. I really do need help. I have narcissistic personality disorder. and I'm willing to try to change it. Whereas this one, my son's father, he's in complete denial. Um, Again, 42 years old. Um, the last 4 relationships he's been in ended the exact same way. Okay? What does that tell you? Including this one ending the exact same way. So I say, what's the common denominator? But for now, I just want to put it out there that, you know what, you're not crazy. You don't need help. You deserve much, 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 much better than the bullshit that these men and women are putting us through. In my case, that this man here, all they want is they're self-serving, so their only objective in life is to make themselves happy, which is pretty impossible, but nothing and no one can ever make them happy. It's like they're like a human, but an empty shell of a human, because they don't feel. In my experience, okay, I can't speak for everyone else. This one seems to not care unless he wants something. Yeah. hmm He'll be extra nice and extra sweet when he wants something. But as soon as he gets it, he goes right back to being an asshole, right back to being a prick fuck. So, you know what? I'm in the process of planning my escape plan, which he's aware of. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm leaving. Um, I did have him evicted a few months ago. I had my landlord serve him with an eviction notice. And of course, he waited till the last day. And, well, he went back to his mom's house, which that was number 4. Back to his mom's house after yet another failed relationship. Well, he was there for a few weeks to a month before she kicked him out.
Smoking a cigarette on the porch of Joey.
That's him. And, see, no boundaries. Just walks right in my room. Doesn't knock, nothing. So, I'm at the point where I'm so disgusted. I can't even. I no longer feel the same. I know I realize I am in a trauma bond. I realize that is a very strong thing. I am working on getting out of it, but before I was rudely interrupted by him coming in my bedroom. No boundaries. Another thing, they have no boundaries. So his mom kicked him out, and me being the good-hearted person I am, like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna let my son's father be on the street. Huge mistake that was. If I can go back, I would have never let him back. Because you know what? After he left, I started to get to a place of peace. Like an actual place of peace. And as soon as he, like, Came back. Oh, I just need a week. I just need a week to find a place, which I knew was bullshit. Because that's all they do is bullshit. They lie. Lie, 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 lie. That's all they do. So before that, I was like, I'm not leaving my place. You can leave. But I'm at the point now where I'm like, you know what? I'm leaving. I'm getting the fuck out. And for anyone who watches this video, I would suggest the very same thing. If you manage to get them out, do not, under no circumstances, do not let them back, because you know what? Me feeling bad for him thinking he was going to be on the streets was a pointless, because he wouldn't give a fuck if I was on the streets. Why should I care about him being on the streets? He made his bed, and now he's got to lie in it. And so I am in the process right now. I found a place, and I am taking my shit, and I am going. I'm taking my son with me, and I didn't want to do the whole court thing, but of course, narcissists are like, oh well, you know what? You're not taking my kid. They want to act like they want to care about their kids then, okay? But whatever. I'll go to court, whatever it takes to get away from him, because I refuse to live a life of just nothing, of just complete emptiness. No love, no empathy, no nothing. I refuse. Life is too short. So, to anyone who's out there in the same situation, or again, everyone's story is different. I would strongly recommend you get out as soon as possible. If you have no kids, go no contact. No contact is the best. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to go no contact when you have children, which I'm just, I wish I could go no contact, but I don't see that happening. But if you have kids, block them on everything they could possibly reach you through. Block them, okay? Because they're relentless. And the second you start ignoring them is the second they want to act like they care. Which, let's be honest, they don't give a fuck. They only care they're being ignored. So, on that note, I'm going to leave it there. Stay tuned, because I will be releasing some more videos, hopefully, if you like what you're seeing. I've always wanted to start my platform, so my own platform, like on YouTube and all that, especially after this. So hey, if you got any questions, because I've got experience with this so far. He hasn't been diagnosed, but there's definitely like I said, at least out of 20, at least 18 narcissistic traits. So, and there's no doubt in my mind, and there's no doubt in my heart and my gut that he is a full-blown narcissist. What kind of narcissist, I'm not really sure yet. Maybe covert, over. I haven't figured that one out yet, but I don't care. I'm just getting out. So I advise you to do the same, because you're just going to waste years and years and years of your life and your happiness for someone who doesn't give a shit about yours. Okay, until next time. Have a good night.